We in law enforcement can no longer take a simple rumor for granted any longer.
And these days, there's no face-to-face contact anymore.
If you don't want to be visited by a sheriff's deputy and you don't want to see your family go through that, then don't bully.
A lot of times, these kids just don't realize the ramifications of what they're doing.
Once we post something on the internet, we have lost our right to privacy.
Social networking is a global revolution enabling nearly 1 billion people worldwide to communicate with their friends through sharing photographs, videos, and personal messages. Many people now see Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, text messaging, chat rooms, blogs, and many other forms of social networking as simply a way of life. And as the popularity of social networking sites grow, so do the risks of using them. News spreads fast in social networks, but what is fact and what is rumor? Being online makes it easy to share, repost, or repeat, but just because it's easy doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Anonymous or not, before putting information online, think about what you're putting out there for the whole world to see. Jokes, false statements, and rumors may seem harmless, but can have serious consequences.
We in law enforcement can no longer take a simple rumor for granted any longer. We have to assume that there is specific threat if a rumor is spread. We have to investigate it, if you will, as though it is a potential crime. We spend a lot of man-hours investigating and running down rumors, and that's what we do.
Using the internet to create widespread panic is not the good thing to do.
This sheriff's office, and indeed all law enforcement in this region, takes those rumors, if you will, very seriously. I would encourage any young person who is participating in spreading a rumor to be aware that they could be part of a criminal investigation.
If you come across a rumor on the internet, whether it's social media, whether it's even a text message, report it. Report it to an adult, report it to a parent, teacher, or your principal.
I think we want them to report it to someone in charge, whether it be their parent or whether it be someone at the school, and we take all rumors seriously, so we encourage them to report that and then let us determine whether it's the rumor or the truth. So take it as the truth, report it to us, and then we'll make the final determination as we work with law enforcement. Don't let it be you that, that remains silent or refuses to bring information forward, and unfortunately a tragedy visits your school.
It used to be that bullying took place on the playground or the parking lot. The internet has changed all that. Technology can now be used to threaten, intimidate, and even bemean others. Cyberbullying takes place in text messages, emails, online posts, and pictures. Not only has the way bullying takes place changed, so has the impact. No longer is the issue between two people. If it's on the internet, it can be seen by millions, making the damage devastating and perhaps permanent.
Any transmission of electronic data can be deemed cyberbullying.
The problem with cyberbullying is that our kids are harassed in a multitude of ways. They can receive text messages. They can, of course, be called on their landlines, on their home phones, or they can be called on their cell phones. They can receive the text messages, the email, they can have messages posted on their Facebook pages.
Now when you've posted to Facebook or MySpace or any social blog, it's out there for everyone. And every time they read it, the abuse is occurring every single time.
Think about the unintended consequences, because sometimes the things that we say to people, the things that we do to them, can sometimes push them to do something that we never would have conceived.
If you're a victim or know somebody that is being cyberbullied, you need to report it to a teacher, a parent, or, a trusted adult.
We have all heard in the newspapers about these kids who ultimately take their own lives because they believe that their only option is to take their own lives to escape the bullying. And I'm sorry does not make that okay.
Words hurt, whether you're telling it to their face or whether you're typing it so that it can be read over and over and over again. In many cases, it even has a more severe impact on the person who's receiving those threats.
If you don't want to be visited by a sheriff's deputy and you don't want to see your family go through that, then don't bully. Once you hit send, it's too late. We're coming.
It just takes a moment to post, a second to hit send. One impulse decision can take a toll for years to come. Sending or forwarding an inappropriate picture or an offensive message could make a difference in getting accepted into college, landing the job of your dreams, or making future friends. And if you're under the age of 17, it is illegal.
Sexting is the transmission of images and text. So it's not just sending an image of a boyfriend or girlfriend, but it's also lewd text suggestive of sex.
So let's say, for example, what we have is we have a minor who is, usually it's a boyfriend-girlfriend type scenario. We have a girl who has taken a nude photograph of herself and then sent it by text message to her boyfriend. She has just manufactured child pornography. Kids and parents need to be mindful of the fact that their children can be held accountable for the content of a text message or email, even when all their child did was forward the text message or email. If your child has received an image of a minor, you absolutely need to report that to law enforcement to protect your child, and obviously to protect the child who is depicted in the image.
The internet offers many ways to have fun. Games and apps challenge and entertain. Facebook connects with friends. Twitter details lives and YouTube broadcasts across the world. But all of this comes with risks. Share too much information and someone can take advantage, turning that fun into danger.
Our kids have the ability to play games against individuals that they're not familiar with.
When you're talking to people online, whether it's social media, whether it's Xbox Live, you don't know who you're talking to.
They're not really thinking about the type of information that they're giving out, because they're just having a conversation, they're just playing a game.
They're just cloaked behind all of these wires and, you know, tunnels of information.
Just be cautious of putting, identifying information onto the internet. Once it is put public out there, there's no retrieving that information, and you don't know who is on the outside trying to retrieve that and use it for their advantage and your disadvantage.
You have to remember, people who commit crimes don't just wake up and out of character say, I'm going to commit a crime.
Parents need to realize, and students need to realize, that they don't know who they're talking to.
So if they can get online and engage in conversation with someone and get their identity, or something as simple as their address, then now this person who is all along intended to commit a crime can pattern your family and ultimately commit a home burglary, or God forbid worse.
The first time you log onto the internet, your digital footprint steps onto the World Wide Web. With every status update, every picture posted, every text, every chat and blog, the size of your digital footprint increases. It's recorded and stored in cyberspace forever.
Your digital footprint is anything that you do online. Just like you see footprints in the snow, it's the same thing.
I think what kids don't realize is that when you log on to a social media site, regardless of what it is, that you lose your right to the expectation of privacy.
Whenever you are online, anything and everything that you do, you're able to track.
Think the impact that you're going to have, and think if that's something that you want to show up on the front page of the paper, or something to be with you when you interview for a job 5 years from now, or when you put in your application to go to college. This will stay with you forever, so think before you hit the send button.
We are going to have employers who are going to access Facebook accounts, who are going to Google us. We're going to have colleges who are going to make college admission decisions based on the information that they are finding about our children, about ourselves on the internet.
Although you may believe that you've erased it off of the internet, it is truly never completely erased off the networking sites.
It's always going to be there. It's always going to follow you. No matter how old you are, it's going to just haunt you and haunt you and haunt you, and you're going to wish that you had never done it.
Once we post something on the internet, we have lost our right to privacy.
So remember, never share your username or password. Don't give out personal details. Use privacy settings. Change your passwords regularly. Be aware of the consequences of what you post. Never say anything to anyone online that you wouldn't say to their face. Don't become friends online if you don't know the person in the real world. Don't cyberbully, and if you're being cyberbullied, tell authorities. Don't spread false rumor, in fact, report it. And remember, once posted, always posted. Finally, think before you click.